산과 호수의 도시 퀸스타운. 뉴질랜드 남섬 서던 알프스 끝자락에 위치한 퀸스타운은 영화 반지의 제왕을 촬영한 곳이기도 하다. 마이클 힐경이 살고 있는 이곳에서는 지난 2001년부터 2년에 한 번씩 국제 바이올린 경연이 열린다. 18살에서 28살 사이 젊은 바이올리니스트를 찾아내는 무대다.
지금 기분이 어때요?
네, 좋아요. 청중상도 타고 너무 좋아요.
좀 섭섭한 것 같은데?
네, 아니요. 뭐 제가 더 잘해야죠.
끝나서 너무 좋죠.
끝나서 좋아.
빨리 집에 가고
3등한 게 좀 섭섭하잖아?
아니요, 저 전혀 그런 거 없어요.
오늘 결과에 대해서 어떻게 생각하세요?
결과요? 글쎄요, 뭐 조금 더 성적이 좋았으면 더 좋았을 텐데 뭐 펑크라는 게 그런 거니까요. 뭐 예측할 수 없고 뭐 결과는 뭐 어떻게 나오든 뭐 중요한 거는 이제 기회를 통해서 좋은 경험을 하는 게 중요하니까요.
네.
Protected too much, and coming from a farming community with a lot of rough boys who played rugby, and I was artistic, so I didn't really fit in. So I was quite bullied at school. I actually had quite a tough time at school by being bullied, and I didn't enjoy my schooling one little bit. And so I was very happy to leave school, I told my parents, to their horror, that I was going to become a concert violinist, which they disbelieved, but so that's how I started anyhow. I practiced with a Danish music teacher who was living in Whangarei, and after a year I entered the New Zealand Herald Violin Competition. The New Zealand Herald had a violin competition. That must have stuck in my mind, because I mean I ended up with a violin competition. And I didn't win, and then I came back, and my parents were working with my uncle in the jewelry business, and they said, well, you'll have to become a watchmaker. You can't do this anymore. We won't have it. So they chose my career for me, which was jewelry. So it's amazing how things work, because I stayed in that shop for 23 years with my dad, selling behind the counter. And life was I played life pretty safe. I was scared to extend myself, the fear of the unknown, and a lot of people are like that. And I guess I was in a sort of a slot, or couldn't see a way forward from what I was doing. I married a girl from England, and we had 2 children, built a house in Whangarei, a lovely home, a beautiful home in fact, and we were earning quite good money. I was managing the jewellery shop at that stage, my uncle's shop. My wife was an art teacher. Went to the pictures one night and had a call, and the house was on fire. And that was a nice change everything, because as the house was burning, I realised that, yeah, what a fool I'd been all these years, working for my uncle, who was really never gave me a share of the business. So I thought, right, I'm either going to buy him out or I'm going to start up an opposition to him. He wouldn't sell to me, which was probably very lucky. So I started up just down the street, 6 doors down from the big jewellery shop. I started my little jewellery shop in Whangarei in 1979. And today I have 250 shops, and my uncle has 1. What we've discovered is that when times become tough, that they don't buy very large purchases. For instance, they're not building a new home, or if they can afford it. I mean, in Australasia, people can buy themselves a boat or a new motor car or something quite significant. Rather than buying those, they have to think, well, my goodness me, what am I going to buy my wife or my girlfriend? Oh no, well, what? It's jewellery. And it's a very weird thing. So when the economy gets a little bit flat, jewellery is actually one thing that goes up. It's quite interesting, yes. Quite the opposite of what one would think.
에러타운 근처 500에이커의 사슴 목장을 사서 골프장으로 개발하고 2007년부터 3년간 뉴질랜드 오픈 골프 경기를 유치했다. 마이클 힐경은 이 대회 수익금으로 어린이 치료를 위한 자선 기금을 마련했다. 이 골프장은 뉴질랜드에서 가장 좋은 골프장의 하나로 꼽히고 있다.
If you make mistakes, at least you're learning from those mistakes. It's better to make a mistake that hurts than make no mistakes at all. And if you press yourself and you keep pushing, sooner or later you usually break through. And whatever your main dominant thought is in your head, most of the time is what is actually going to happen to you. So if you can actually be thinking of what you would really want to aspire to in life, what would be the key ingredients that you would like to see yourself doing something in 30 years' time that you would be very proud of, that your parents would be very proud of, that your great-great-parents would be proud of, right back to the beginning of when your DNA first started. And to me, I want 1,000 jewellery shops. I want to become a global brand. And that's one of the reasons I've built this golf course here as part of a branding exercise and including the violin competition, which I'm sure you're going to ask me some questions about sooner or later.
한국인은 지난 2009년 마이클 힐 국제 바이올린 경연에 처음 참가해 2위와 3위를 차지했으나 2011년에는 아쉽게도 아무도 결승 무대에 서지 못했다.
Now, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these further volumes. I'm a great believer in goal setting and 30-year goals, all those things. I mean, God help us. Some of the violinists that are making the most money are these wild big mountains going into the sea
빨리 하고 끝내는 게 마음 편할 것 같아요. 1번 안 걸려서 다행이에요.
7번이요.
네, 못 탔어요.
Out the front with the rest.
Very exciting day today. It's been very good. It's very emotional.
조금 더 바이올린 하면서 더 행복해질 수 있는 좀 기회들을 많이 만들어 보고 싶어요. 왜냐면 지금 한국에서 이렇게 바이올린 공부하는 게 워낙 경쟁이 좀 치열하다 보니까 좀 스트레스를 많이 받는 것 같아서 좀 지금부터는 조금 더 다양한 사람들도 만나고 음악하는 사람들, 그래서 좀 바이올린 하면서 더 즐겁게 좀 해피하게 살 수 있는 그런 방향으로 좀 찾아보려고요. 제가 홈스테이 하는 게 이번에 처음이라서 되게 걱정을 했거든요. 어떤 주인을 만날지도 걱정이 됐고, 그리고 저도 아무래도 영어가 아직 서툴르다 보니까 걱정이 많이 됐는데 만나서 보니까 너무 친절하시고 너무 알아서 다 챙겨주셔가지고 뭐 저는 딱히 문제도 없고 너무 편한 것 같아요.
You like music very much. You
Yes.
look like.
Yes, I love music. I wish I could play like my little friend here, but however, I don't have the talent. But I love music and I listen to music a lot. This was my husband's grandfather's piano. It came out in 1910 from America. Yes, so it's a very precious piano.
100 years old.
Yes, it is. Yes.
경치가 일단 처음으로 너무 좋았고요. 그러니까 여기 분위기가 이렇게 한국이랑은 정말 이렇게 다르게 되게 이렇게 사람들도 여유 있고 막 이런 게, 그래서 되게 그런 부분이 되게 놀라웠어요.
지금 홈스테이 하는데 뭐 불편한 거, 뭐 어려운 거 이런 건 없나?
아, 전혀 없어요. 그러니까 홈스테이 하시는 가족분들이 너무 가족처럼 잘 대해주시고, 그러니까 제 입에 맞는 음식까지 직접 해주실 정도로 되게 편하게 해주셔서 되게 감사하고.
퀸스타운은 너무 자연 환경이 너무 아름답고요. 제가 오클랜드 공항에서 어떤 한국 아주머니 한 분 만났었는데 그 아주머니가 그러시더라고요. 여기 너무 살기 좋아서 여기 한번 오면 애들이 가기 싫어한다고. 그래서 자기 아들도 이제 한국 가야 되는데 가기 싫다 그런다고. 그래서 그냥 그 아주머니가 왔다 갔다 하시면서 지내시더라고요. 그래서 진짜 살기 좋은 곳이구나. 제가 이렇게 곤돌라도 타고 할머니랑 많이 다녀봤는데 진짜 뭐 말로 표현할 수 없을 만큼 네, 좋은 환경이더라고요. 여기선 연습이 안 돼요. 너무 좋아서. 너무 이런 자연 환경이 너무 좋으니까.
원래 되게 유명한 콩쿠르이고 근데 저희 학교에 있는 언니가 이전에 상 받았어서 알게 됐고 그다음에 제가 11월 달에 콩쿠르 했는데 그 곡이랑 그 비디오 심사 곡이랑 겹쳐서 이렇게 보내게 됐어요. 이 호스트에 온 게 되게 일단 이게 너무 좋고요. 너무 행복함이 막 느껴져가지고 그리고 어제랑 그저께 좀 나가서 놀았는데 일단 공장 같은 거 하나도 없고요. 그다음에 그냥 뭐 이렇게 설명할 수 없는데.
I have a daughter who is 13 and who learns the violin, and I am hoping she will be inspired to do some more practice after listening to Min-kyung.
Both Alison and I will fly to Auckland on Saturday afternoon, and we will be at the finals, and we hope to see Min-kyung playing at the final.
Should we try again? I'm sorry. Well, I always played the violin as an amateur, even though it wasn't a career. And I really enjoyed it. And then I did a concert with a concert master of the Auckland Philharmonia who came down here, Miranda Adams. She will be down here this weekend too. You could ever talk to her. She's a nice lady. She's really nice. And we did a concert in a wine cave. And then we went for a walk the next day in the mountains, and we were just talking about, you know, about what I'd done and how I'd been in the Herald competition. And she says, well, she said, why did you have a competition? I thought, well, that's a great idea. So I thought about it for a little while, and then I went and knocked on the door of the Auckland Philharmonia and knocked on the door, and I met the manager and said I'd like to run a competition. As simple as that. And Anne Rodder, who was the manager at that stage, who now runs the competition, yeah, she was there, and we took her as well. And it's been so it was my way of giving back, and I've really found it truly amazing. I mean, I've met so many brilliant young musicians and amazing adjudicators. I mean, we've got such a wonderful lot in town at the moment. You know, I think we have 5 Stradivariuses in town at the moment. Unbelievable, in this little wee town of ours. 5 Stradivariuses. Yeah, it's just truly amazing, all because of our competition. Very exciting. say it's rated in the top 6 violin competitions of the world. And one of the things that's unique about this competition over the others is that there's no politics, and we look after the players. So in other words, they're billeted out with local families who care for them. Even if they don't make the first cut at Queenstown, where they're reduced from 18 to 6, they don't fly them home. They still come with us. They watch all the other part of the competition in Auckland. So they're with us right the way to the end, cared for, looked after, made sure they're 100% right. Whereas in most competitions, when you have gone, you're out. You're on the next plane. You've gone. So, and that's pretty scary. And I went to a big one in Europe this year, and it was frightening, to be honest. You know, the judges were all no smiles, next please, you know, and it was a fearful experience. I would have thought. I would have hated to have played under those things, but we try and nurture the people to get them to bring out the best. And with these surroundings here, with all these beautiful mountains and everything, I think it's a good place where one can show one's true soul. So, so we're looking for an all-round person, you know, a person that has a balance, and that balance also comes out, of course, in the music. No, that wasn't that good. That was very bad. The most difficult thing is making that first move, because I think everybody has the key ingredients to do anything in life, but it's how you do it. And a lot of people find it difficult to make that first move of what it is to that venture. If something's going wrong, I can always swing it around to become a positive. And it's a very ill wind, there's a saying, that it's a very ill wind that blows no good. In other words, you know, you can usually find something good of anything, unless it's death, of course. You can't, that's complete. But bar that, you can usually find something that you can twist around and think, well, you know, and you can learn from those mistakes too if you make mistakes. I think it's good to make mistakes, because if you're not making mistakes, you're not actually learning sufficiently. So you need to fall over. As a child, you fall over and you cry and goodness knows what, and you learn from these things. But as you
원래는 보통 떨어지면 이렇게 가고, 그리고 이렇게 참가자들을 위해서 뭐 어떤 프로그램이 이렇게 다 돼 있는 데가 별로 없는데, 여기는 뭐 워크숍 코스나 아니면은 참가자들 이렇게 단체로 이렇게 관광시켜 준다거나 좀 그런 게 이렇게 되게 알차게 잘 계획되어 있는 것 같아요.
그러니까 다른 콩쿠르는 보통 이렇게 결과 안 좋거나 하면 보통 집으로 그냥 가야 되잖아요. 근데 여기는 그러니까 끝까지 이렇게 호스트들이 다 케어해주고 막 이런 점이 너무 좋았고요. 뭐 다른 참가자들 연주 보면서 배우는 것도 많아서 그것도 좋았던 것 같아요.
다른 콩쿠르는 이렇게 떨어지면은 기분 나빠 집에 가거나 아니면은 연주 안 듣거든요. 거기 있더라도 기분 나쁘니까. 근데 여기서는 그냥 분위기 자체가 그렇게 부드러워서 연주 가도 기분 안 나쁘고 다른 나라에서 온 애들도 보면은 다들 그냥 즐겁게 다들 친해졌고 이미 벌써 그래서 뭐 분위기가 되게 부드러워서 기분 나쁘고 이런 것도 없어요.
이렇게 막 연습만 하는 것보다는 좀 더 그 곡에 대해서 공부를 많이 했다는 생각이 들어서 이제 좀 공부를 하고 싶고요. 이제 앞으로는.
그러니까 보통 다른 콩쿨 디렉터들이나 주최자들은 그냥 콩쿨 하고 뭐 공식적인 자리에만 그냥 이렇게 얼굴 비치는 정도인 건데, 그러니까 마이클은 이렇게 하나하나 이렇게 뭐 리허설 장면이라던가 콩쿨 참가자들 하나하나 이렇게 다 이렇게 일일이 보는 그런 모습 되게 인상 깊었고요. 그 연주 끝나고 이렇게 로비 같은 데서 참가자들이랑 이렇게 얘기하는 것도
바이올리니스트가 되기 위해 다니던 고등학교를 그만두었으나 그 꿈을 이루지 못하고 보석상을 하게 된 마이클 힐경. 남을 위해 돈을 쓸 줄 아는 마이클 힐. 그는 2011년 나이트 칭호를 얻었다. 그리고 지금 젊은 날의 꿈을 국제 바이올린 경연을 통해서 이루어가고 있다.
My advice is set yourself a long-term goal and endeavor to set a 30-year goal. And when you're young, you think, why do I need a 30-year goal? You know, I mean, I have everything, I have everything afford me, and 30 years is just too long. I can't think that. But truly, it will make a big difference. The other thing is, be determined, and whatever you want, make sure you get it. So be strong, and even if you choose the wrong goal, it's better to choose a goal than not have one. Because even if you end up and it turns out to be not the way you're going, at least you're doing something and you're gaining experience. You will make mistakes, but mistakes are good. The one thing to be careful of, though, that once you have your long-term goal, that you become very enthusiastic, and if anything, you're going to work too hard. And that's you need to be careful of. And what I believe in is the 80-20 rule, and that means that you only do the 20% of the things in your life that are going to get you towards your goal and eliminate the other 80%. And that way, you can really nail it and can succeed. But if you do everything and want to be everything to everybody, it doesn't work. So keep it simple. Keep a balance in your life, you know, so that you can always recognize beauty. You can play music, you can see a flower, you can stop and admire it, rather than being so blindly busy that you're not enjoying life. That's not fun. Life needs to be a balance. Get your balance and have your long-term goal. Stick with it, be determined, and you will do it, I'll guarantee.
The winner, first place, a prize of $40,000, a recording contract with New Zealand's Atoll label, and a winner's tour in 2012, and this should come as no great surprise, is Sergei Malov.